Now, let's move to something else breaking today. And in a very unusual move, government has intervened to keep the price of petrol down. The petrol price increase for September, of course, it kicks in at midnight tomorrow, was expected to be around 25 cents. But because of an urgent fuel price intervention announced by Energy Minister Radebe, the price at the pumps is only going up by 5 cents. So somewhat good news for motorists. It's still the sixth straight increase in a row. Government says this is a once-off intervention because prices have been rising over the past 5 months. Now, fuel, you'll remember, it's been very dramatic. It was below 14 Rand in February and March. It's been rising ever since. 95 unleaded inland, the most expensive form of petrol, is now soaring above 16 Rand per litre. The price of 95 unleaded in Gauteng, the most expensive, will go up to 16.08 cents per litre tomorrow at midnight. To discuss, we're joined by the Director of Fuel Pricing in the Department of Energy, Robert Maake. He's in our studios in Pretoria. Mr. Maake, this is good news, but unprecedented. What's behind it?
Good evening, Francis, and good evening to the viewers at home. The minister decided to intervene temporarily, so it's a once-off intervention because, as you know, the price has been going up since April this year.
Where's the money coming from?
There's no money coming from anywhere, Francis. What will happen is the oil companies are supposed to recover money from the prices now, but they're not going to recover it because of the price intervention. So what will then happen in line with the regulation? We'll then look at the following month or the month after and so on when the fuel prices increase are not so huge, and then we can ensure that the oil companies recover the monies.
So explain this to me. So you, somebody out there purchases fuel that is imported. The rand has been weak, so that fuel is more expensive. So you're saying those importing companies are going to have to absorb the increase, not government. You're not going to reduce any levies, anything like that?
No, what we are saying is the oil companies are not necessarily absorbing the increases. What will happen is it will affect their cash flow at the moment, particularly this month. However, as government, as I'm saying, we are committed to make sure that they recover that money in line with the regulations.
Okay, so motorists are winning now, but you're saying we can be harder hit down the line.
Again, I want to emphasize that we are probably aware in the next month, before the end of this month, government will come up with medium and long-term intervention to say how fuel price will be mitigated going forward. And you might also recall that minister has promised that by end of September there will be intervention measures that government will announce. So we'll be waiting for that as well. But we cannot afford another fuel price hike. That's what we are saying. We need to make sure that the fuel prices are affordable, but at the same time balance with the sustainability of the industry.
Did Pravin Gordhan or did other departments have anything to do with this? He's been warning that state-owned enterprises, for example, cannot absorb another fuel price hike.
No, what is happening here is only the intervention by the Minister of Energy at the moment. There's no contribution from other ministries. However, I'm not sure if the minister at that level has spoken to other ministers. But this intervention is the intervention that the Department of Energy can manage. In some cases, of course, we might have to collaborate with Treasury.
Why? Why do you need Treasury when it's the oil companies, you say, importing the oil that are going to absorb this?
No, again, I emphasize, the oil companies are not going to absorb it. What we are saying is there are regulations that might require the Minister of Energy to have a concurrence of the Minister of Finance when we ensure that the oil companies recover the monies that they will not be recovering at the moment.
All right. I'm really battling to understand this. So you're saying there will be some absorption now. It will be repaid essentially to those oil companies, but you'll try and protect motorists by announcing further measures in future. Will those measures be as early as October? There are expectations that we could see another significant petrol price increase as early as October.
Well, I cannot talk about projections for the future. All I can say is that the government will announce mitigation measures at the end of September. and possibly it could then help to make sure that the fuel price hikes are mitigated.
And will those mitigation measures not impact taxpayers? Are you not taking from Peter to give to Paul, and it's all going to hit us in the end?
Yeah, of course, I don't work in the Treasury that deals with the taxes, but from our side as Department of Energy, we are not looking at any measures that will increase either fuel levies or even the price of fuel itself. So we are looking at measures that will mitigate the prices using the movement in the prices itself, not necessarily imposing more burden to the motorists and the consumers.
I understand that, but you are saying that eventually there will be a release of funds from Treasury, probably, and that will be taxpayers' money.
I never said there will be release of funds from Treasury. All I said is Minister of Energy might need concurrence of Minister of Finance to implement certain regulations to make sure that the oil companies recover the money that they won't be recovering this month.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. We will try and understand, Mr. Maake, is this, you know, and I must say motorists, a lot of people have been calling this for a long time, will appreciate the intervention of government, but you're not really explaining to me where the money will come from. And is this about elections?
No, I'm not a politician. I cannot talk about election. I don't know anything. All I can say now is that the Minister of Energy decided to intervene because the fuel price have been increasing since April this year. And we thought this is the right time to do the intervention because motorists cannot absorb these prices going forward. As you rightfully said, it's above 16 Rand now. So it has nothing to do with the elections.
All right, but you can't say how long we will be protected for. You're only saying that at the end of September there will be some further intervention around the regulations, and then the minister will look at the long-term sustainability. Is that correct?
Yes, as you know, Francis, our prices are adjusted every month. So that is why this intervention is for this month. And then going forward, as we said, in September, end of September, government will announce the interventions. And hopefully we can implement going forward.
All right. Thank you for your time this evening. We appreciate it. From the Energy Department, he's in charge, the Director of Fuel Pricing, Robert Maake.